Only 3.2% of Americans retire with more than $1 million. This means that nearly all Americans are retired with less. So you're asking yourself, well, how does that even work? Well, let me show you a simple foundation formula that is necessary to know your number. Then we'll look at how much you need to be withdrawing and making sure that you don't over withdraw and capsize your retirement ship. And then finally, we'll talk through how you're going to navigate that ship to make sure that you can go through all of the choppy waters, regardless of what the markets throw at you. If we haven't met, I'm Eric with Jazz Wealth Managers, where I've helped hundreds of clients go to and through retirement with their financial plans. First, the most important number in retirement is what you have to find. And I know what you're thinking right this second. Well, that's how much I have saved, and it's absolutely wrong. Actually, you want to make sure that you're going to find out how much you're going to spend in retirement. Now, oftentimes this is where people get hung up. They say, well, I'm not a big budgeter. I don't know exactly how much I'm spending. I just know that I don't overspend. And that's okay when you're in the working years. But once you enter into the retirement years, you truly have to know a good ballpark of how much you're spending. And it could be that you're already running an Excel spreadsheet and you know exactly where this money is going, or you have an app that tracks it and it's helpful for you and you're keeping your budget. But if you don't, something simple that I've found for clients is something we call the foundation formula. That's a way of tracking everything and getting in a good ballpark range of what you need every single year to cover all of your expenses. The way this is going to work is you're going to take all bank statements and all credit card statements and add everything together for the past year. Once you've done that, you're needing to go through real quick and subtract any one-off massive expense. Let's just say that you bought a car this past year and you paid cash for it and it all came out of your bank account. Don't include that in your annual expenses, or you're going to have a much higher expense than you truly do. Instead, remove those out. Take everything else, add them up, and then divide it by 12. That's going to give you a solid base breakdown for your monthly expenses. Second, you'll want to know how much you can comfortably draw down from your retirement accounts. A real popular method with this was founded by a man named Bill Bengen. Bill talked about doing the 4% rule. Now, this has been argued extensively by tons of different retirement planners, but the idea here is that you're going to take 4% of your returns and live off of those dollars, adjusting for inflation each year. Now, Bill has since went back and adjusted the plan himself, and he says now that you could take 4.7%, and that should last you full 30 years. Now, if you're 67 years old and longevity in your family only tells you that you're going to live to be 90, you don't need a full 30 years. You could potentially live on a little bit more during those times, but this is going to be a case-by-case basis that you have to factor into your equation. Once you've figured out how much that you need in the expenses and you start figuring out how much you can withdraw from, that's where you're going to make sure that you have enough money to cover all of your needs. Now, I know you're thinking to yourself probably, I have $800,000 and this is going to give me $32,000 if I live off of the Bill Bengen rule of 4%. But you're probably not factoring in your Social Security as well. Well, Social Security itself is going to give you $2,071. That's based on the averages from Social Security right this minute at full retirement age, which is age 67. So if you factor those two into play, now you have over $56,000 annually that you're able to live on. Now, there is more complex parts of this equation that you still have to think through because there is the tax liability that does come into play. And so if you have all Roth dollars, it's going to be much more easy because that's going to allow you to live on all of this tax-free and continue on into the sunset. But if it's all pre-retirement, there may be a tax liability that factored into this equation. So let's say that you have the $800,000 in hypothetical retirement dollars. Now you have to factor in how you're actually going to position those dollars in retirement. There are arguments all across the board of different strategies that may work for you. You have people who talk about a 60-40 allocation, which is just 60% stocks, 40% bonds, and there's rebalancing that always goes into effect. I talked about that recently because rebalancing is a great strategy to keep you in that allocation, though it is not always the best strategy in retirement. Then you have others who talk about formulas such as 100 minus your age, and that's going to equal the amount of stock allocation you need. So if you're 70 years old, well, then you're only going to need 30% in stocks, though this could be too conservative for your scenario, and it all really depends on your goals. And so you've got to look at how much you're going to need to make sure that you're getting the right return, because even going back to Bill Benjamin and the 4% rule, if you just put all of your money in cash and only got 1%, that's not going to continue to last you, because you're eventually going to spend down your money much quicker and you're going to need a higher return. And I hear you. You're thinking, well, then what can I do? Well, something I developed was called the Two-Bucket Powell Method. The way this is going to work is you're going to have growth dollars in a portfolio, and you're also going to have conservative dollars. Now, some people would say, well, that just sounds like a 60-40 allocation, but that's not quite how it's going to work. Instead, we're looking at this as the two buckets. The reason for that is your growth dollars are always going to be working for you, and you're going to be living off of those dollars when there's positive markets. But when there's a negative market, you have the conservative dollars that come into play. Now, the conservative bucket should always be 3 to 5 years of living expenses. The reason for this is if we do go through something such as the global market crisis of 2008, you'll always have enough dollars to carry you all the way through the roughly 5 years to get back to a break even. Then once the positive markets come back, you're able to refill the conservative bucket as well as live off of those stock dollars during that time. So going back to the beginning for a minute, you're going to want to make sure that you know how much you're going to need to live on in retirement to cover your expenses. The way you can do this is the simple foundation formula that we talked about. Second, you're going to want to make sure that you have a proper withdrawal rate that's pulling from your retirement portfolio, such as what Bill Benjamin found, where the 4% or 4.7% rule comes into play. And finally, you've got to make sure that your portfolio is allocated properly to be able to ride the waters, such as the Two-Bucket Powell Method that you could use to help you offset not only emotion, but sequence of return risk. So the retirement does not have to be a dream and something that you're just thinking about. You just have to make sure that you have the proper planning in place to execute that.